Welcome, everybody. As you know, this is one of the most exciting times for me when we get to officially roll out and announce new features. We get to show you what we've been hard at work at. My team has just worked relentlessly to get a lot of these updates out over the last few months. I think our last town hall that we did here was towards the end of May, so definitely going to be another jam-packed webinar. So without further ado, I'm going to dive in. We've got one couple reminders, though. I do want to remind everyone, if you're not on the JobTread Pros Facebook group, it is a great place to get involved, to network with others, to learn about upcoming features. We get lots of feedback and collaboration through this Facebook group. I've seen people who are literally joining Facebook just to join this group, and that's really awesome to see. But just it's such a great place. I love seeing everybody helping each other, and often now you guys are beating us to the punch at answering people's questions. So super awesome. We love it. We love you guys for all of your involvement in this group. Please go join if you're not currently in there. And want to also remind everybody about Builder Stories. We are just, I think, right at 1 year. Every single Wednesday, we have published a new episode with, various types of contractors. I think this is such a great way to learn from other people who have been in your shoes, who are on the same journey, have maybe overcome some of the challenge that you may be, facing today or going to face or have also faced. It's just a great opportunity to learn from others. So if you're not tuned into that, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, or just directly watch it on builderstories.com. We'd love for you to check it out, give us a share, a like, things like that. I want to highlight a couple stats here. This is just like really blowing our mind. I feel like it was just yesterday that we hit $5 billion in jobs sold and managed on JobTread. We're now at 5.97. So, maybe 30 million more jobs and we'll be right there at 6 billion. This has just been really awesome to see. It warms our heart to know that you all are winning these jobs and that you're getting to deliver them all across the world. Super awesome. We're now at over 3,600 customers, over 2,500 active internal users, almost 450,000 jobs. It's just really awesome to see you all continuing to build and grow your businesses right here on JobTread. This really motivates us. It also requires us to keep hiring people. So I want to welcome a few new people to our team. Alan, he just joined us from a JobTread customer, actually, Dallas Paint Pros. They're located here in Dallas. We're super excited to have Alan joining us, bringing his experience, being on the other side, actually implementing JobTread as a customer. He's now come and joined us and is helping all of you, go through that same process. Super excited to have you, Alan. We've also got Hilario here. He has joined us. He has had a ton of construction experience. He was the president of an HVAC and plumbing company, has got just a lot of great experience managing people, teams, all within construction. And he's also a former U.S. Army veteran. So very much appreciate your service, Hilario. We're super excited to have you. And we've got Matthew Couch, a new software developer. He hasn't quite started. He's joining us on August 21st. A couple weeks. We couldn't be any more excited. As many of you know, we are very particular about the people that we bring on to our team. We spend a lot of time trying to find the right people. Funny enough, our own Madison Couch was the one who referred her brother over here. He has been a developer for several years. He's got a degree in computer science from NYU Shanghai. We are super excited to having him joining us to help us continue building out integrations. Can't wait for Matthew to start. It's going to just give us even more horsepower to keep growing. I do want to make sure everyone knows that we are continually hiring. We are reinvesting constantly into our team, and we are looking for more customer success managers, more customer support specialists, more customer training specialists, somebody to join Anna over there. Looking for an additional director of business development and an accountant, bookkeeper to help my dad with all the finances. So if you know anyone or if you yourself are interested, we would love to be able to talk to you and have you join our team. We do require everybody to be here in Dallas, Texas. Everybody works right from our office. We don't do any remote. So unfortunately, if you're not in a situation to relocate or you're not already here, it's probably not going to work out this time. But, I would love any referrals. We very heavily value, people that come to us through referrals and references and people that we know who have that much more reason to be passionate and care and want to join an awesome team. All right, on to my another one of my favorites here, JobTread Connect, our user conference. We are so excited about this. Like, we have nailed down the dates, we've nailed down the venue. You know, we have a really incredible event that we're going to put on January 15th to the 17th. You know, I'm curious in the chat box. Let me know if you attended last year. I'd love to see that. Love to see what your experience was. But for those of you who don't know, you know, it's our annual user conference. It's only for JobTread users, and it's an immersive 3-day hands-on event where you're going to have just tons of opportunity to learn, you know, both JobTread, get JobTread training, learn other business skills, be able to network with people, you know, similar businesses, but maybe located across the country. You know, this is just like, I think one of the highlights of our year. We could not be any more excited to bring this event every year to the industry. You know, this year we're expecting somewhere between 750 to 1,000 attendees. You know, we capped out last year at 500. We were fortunate to be able to do it right at the hotel next to our office. You know, this year we've had to change venues. We have got a huge venue. It's an awesome venue, the Renaissance Dallas Addison Hotel. Super excited about it. You know, we've got, you know, we're expecting, you know, 40 plus exhibitors, partners to help you build your power team. You know, we got two of the evenings. We got social events. You know, we have rented out 2 entire venues for this. We'll have shuttle buses taking you there. You know, tons of opportunities for networking. You know, this really is an amazing event. You know, I hope that everyone is able to take a couple days, you know, to invest in themselves, to bring their team out. But I don't want you to take it from me. I've actually got a video here highlighting what a few others have said about their experience at JobTread Connect last year.
The Connect conference, top notch.
Everything's very well organized. Every keynote has been inspirational.
I want my business to be something I'm excited to show up to.
You think fixing a process or creating a checklist is going to solve the problem. It's going to help. The quality of the team is so vitally important to you running the business.
There's so much content here. I think it could hit somebody at every single level.
The way things should be run, ideas on templates and schedules, the real details of the business.
It is the most amazing experience you could have with a software company. The community that's formed, the relationship between the staff of the company and the users is beyond compare.
And just the connections that you will make with people who utilize this system in all different types of ways from all across the country.
Users from all around the country, even all around the world in some cases, coming together to share best practices, build community, and it's all being curated by the awesome team at JobTread.
All right, so there you have it. You've heard from others, you've heard from me. You know, I can't stress enough how awesome of an event this is. I do also, though, want to highlight that we have a call for presenters out there right now. At jobtread.com/connect, you can find the call for presenters. You know, we are looking for, you know, our customers, our users, our partners to submit presentations, you know, looking for best practices, business processes, tips and tricks, you know, lessons you've learned either implementing JobTread or running your business, building your business, success stories. Like, we want to showcase the best in the industry, and we want to do it right here on our stage at JobTread Connect. So please do take some time to think through, you know, what you might be, you know, excited to share with others. And again, you can submit one or multiple presentations. You don't have to have the full thing, you know, figured out. Just, again, thinking through kind of the topic and description of it. And then you can work with our team to really refine that as we get closer. You know, we won't be able to accept all of the presentations, but we are very excited to be able to find, you know, all of the great successes out there and bring them right onto our stage so that you can help the entire JobTread community to build a better business. That's what this conference is about. And we're just so excited to be able to bring you the best of the best. I also want to give a shout out and a big thank you to our partners and our sponsors for JobTread Connect. We have just been overwhelmed and blown away by the interest and how many people. I think we have over 18 partners that have already committed to sponsoring JobTread Connect. This is such a great opportunity for you all to meet face to face with our partners, to really learn what they're about, who they are, get to know them, make sure that they are a great fit for you, for your team, for your business. This is just a really good opportunity to meet those who can help you build a better business. And they're also the reason that we're able to afford to put on such a big event. I mean, we are going to spend around $1 million on JobTread Connect. Our expenses to put this on are astronomical. And if it wasn't for our partners, then we wouldn't be able to continue providing this to you as affordable as we possibly can. Our goal is to break even on this event. We're not trying to make money from this. Like, we want to be able to provide you a great experience so that you can learn and grow for the rest of the year. We love that it's in January. It's a great way to kick it off. So please do, come out, check out our partners, get to know them, build that ecosystem for your company. And as you saw in the waiting room, that video, we have less than 100 early bird tickets left. This is the same price of what we charged last year, $4.99. Again, we are losing money on every single one of these tickets, but we think that it's really important. I want to reward the people who have been there in the past, the people who are on this webinar today, who are, on the ball. Like, we would really love to see you grab those tickets and get that early bird incentive. And one other thing I want to mention, like, everything is included. All of your food, all of the events, the lunches, the breakfast, the refreshments, the happy hours, like the socials, your transportation from the conference venue to the evening of venues, like, everything is included in this. You just got to get yourself from your hometown to Dallas, and then from the airport to the convention center. And we look forward to taking care of everything else for you. Again, that we've got less than 100 of these tickets left. We are going to be, essentially drawing the line, and we got to just move forward. So please do, if you can swing it, if you can get your tickets today, we would love to see that. If you end up needing to, transition or shift a ticket from someone to someone else, we can always handle that later down the road as we get closer. But, for those of you who are prepared and ready, please do grab your ticket today. One other event I want to highlight is our beginner boot camp. So it's a 2-day immersive hands-on workshop here in Dallas, Texas. It is led by our very own Anna Hunter. She has a phenomenal program that she puts together to walk you through all of the basics, getting up to speed. This is geared towards your anyone that is going to be an active JobTread user on your team. You are welcome to bring them down. We also have Q&A time where you get to really meet and learn about each other with your customer success manager. We do a happy hour at our office. This event is actually hosted at our office. It's downstairs in a big conference center that we have here, but you can come up for the happy hour, get to meet all of our team. We have only 2 more boot camps this year. One of them's next week, so next Thursday and Friday, and then the next one will be October 24th to the 25th. We will start selling those tickets right after this upcoming boot camp, but please do check it out. If you're brand new to JobTread, this is a great way to really dive in and get it implemented very quickly. JobTread.com/bootcamp, you can get more information. All right. I want to highlight our newest marketplace partners as well. So if you don't know, in the settings, you can go to the marketplace. We are constantly looking for great partners who we believe can add a lot of value to you and your business. We have just a very, very strong marketplace partnership built out now, where you can see, just tons of accounting partners have joined us over the last couple of months. Like, it has been the #1 thing that you all have asked for is help with your bookkeeping, help getting QuickBooks and JobTread set up and fully syncing back and forth. Like, please go spend the time to go through the list and really reach out to these people who you feel like you might have a good connection with. Interview a couple of them, talk to them, but find the people who can help you. Don't just keep kicking that can. We are bringing the best partners that we possibly can to help you build a much better business. So take a little bit of time to reach out to them through our marketplace, and hopefully they can help you overcome some challenges that you may be having, whether it's, accounting and bookkeeping, whether it's, tracking your COIs, if coaching, marketing, legal, materials and manufacturers are starting to join in here. Like, we have a lot in there. So take the time to look and learn about all of our new partners. All right. So without any further ado, finally, we get into my favorite part, the product updates. So we're going to cover a lot. I've obviously, I've seen a lot, just a little bit in the chat. People are really excited about messaging, but I got a couple things that I want to highlight before we get into that. So the first one here is the PDF markup. we rolled out the photo markup, I think back in May. Everyone was like, oh, we want to be able to do it for PDFs. PDFs are just a little bit different. They're a different type of file. But I think towards the beginning of June, we were able to deliver that as well. You can draw on them, you can mark them up. All sorts of different text and comments can be added to it, fills and just all the same things that you can do on photos, you can now do on PDFs. The other thing that I want to highlight, this really was a huge step forward for us in terms of being able to deliver the on-screen takeoff. And so, we still have a long way to go with that, but getting this PDF markup, because when you upload plans, they're almost always going to be in PDFs. So we've now, set up the infrastructure to be able to allow you to draw and save those and reference them. There's still more to do, like setting the scale and being able to actually, calculate what those measurements will be and get that saved and easily, imported to your budget. But again, huge step forward on the PDF markups. We appreciate everyone who really, immediately jumped onto this, gave us feedback. We've continued to improve it for you, but hope that's been a big benefit to everyone out there. PDF markup. The template library is another thing that we recently rolled out. It is in the help desk. So you can now go and you can download, budget templates, schedule templates. Right in there, you can preview them. And so you can see, we've organized them kind of by industry. There's home builds, there's remodel templates, pool builds, deck builds, painting templates, like the list goes on and on. But one thing I want to also say that, like, if you have templates that you're really proud of and that you think could benefit others, we would love for you to share them with us. Either send them to the support team or send them to your customer success manager. We'll review them and continue to add the ones that we think are, would be deemed, best practices and would be helpful to others. Again, this is part of creating this community to support each other. Now, we do have more plans to continue making it even easier for you to get these templates into your catalog. But for now, you'll be able to download them, make any adjustments. I mean, obviously, we'll need you to fill in and update your costs based on your local area. But, I think it's a great way to jumpstart getting JobTread implemented. All right, this is a fun one. It was this is like one of two of the great debates that we have had internally as well as externally with the community. Tags versus folders. We very much love tags. We think that they're very powerful. But at the same time, we understand that people wanted to be able to organize their photos, their files, their plans, their drawings into folders. It's what you're used to. It's what your computers have on them. So we ended up deciding, look, let's come up with a way to give you both, and we have implemented that. And so you can now create a folder structure for all of your jobs. And one of the things I really want to make sure everyone knows about is that you can set a default folders, for each job that you create. And you do that from the settings. You can just define how do you want that folder structure set up on every new job that you create. This just really streamlines the process of kind of setting up every new job. And then, you're able to view all of the folders and the files kind of in a folder view, or if you want to have a flat list view where you just see everything, we show you what folder it's in a column next to it, but it still gives you that ability to see a flat list of everything. So if you can't remember what folder you put it into, you're able to find it using this flat list view. Right now, only admins can create new folders. When we first rolled it out, we allowed everyone to create folders. However, we got feedback, right away that, like, hey, I don't want everyone being able to create folders. That might not be the file structure that I want. So, we immediately essentially restricted it to the admins. But again, based on all of the feedback from you all, we are going to be adding a folder permission that would allow you to give others the ability to create and manage your folders as well. So that will be coming soon. We've heard the feedback. We love that everyone wants to be able to use it, but we do recognize that it's important that you're able to kind of make sure that you maintain that integrity for the folder structure that you want. A couple recommendations that our team wanted to make sure that we share with everyone. So folders are for housing your files. Tags are great for categorizing your files. We think that when, the advantage of tags is that you can tag a file with one or multiple tags. A folder, a file has to be within one folder. So tags do add a lot of power in terms of categorization. However, one thing that, we have found is that when you are giving permissions, when you are giving people access to your files, it's best if you choose to do it based on the folder or based on the tags, but not necessarily try to do both. That when you try to do both, and I mean, you can, but it does start to get, a little bit trickier to figure out, well, why does someone have access versus, should they not? Picking one or the other, seems to be the best practice that we would recommend for you. All right, so let's see in the chat. I mean, who's excited about the PDF markup, the templates, the folders? I'm curious who has already begun implementing all of that. I think it's really great add to JobTread, and we appreciate everyone, continuing to bring it up. I remember in JobTread Pros, I think it might have been Chad Hamlin, sort of kicked off this firestorm with one of his posts about folders, and everyone chimed in, and we're just like, all right, look, we know, we hear you, we understand, and I'm super glad that we're able to deliver that. Sounds like everyone looks like they're very excited. Remember, over on the chat, switch it to everyone. Just a little bit easier for all of us to follow along. I see a lot of the comments are going to the host and panelists still. All right. How are we doing on time? 12:30. All right. Good. Got some time for demo coming up. Here we go. All right. Up next. This one was quite the doozy. I want to thank 4-level coach Randy, Chantal. There are a lot of you out there in Canada who really brought this to our attention and spent countless hours helping us understand the importance of tracking the purchase side tax. We had already implemented a solution to be able to support the dual tax in some of the Canadian provinces that you have on the invoicing and on the proposals and having that sync into your QuickBooks, but we were still lacking on the purchase side. It definitely took a lot for us to wrap our head around. We went through several iterations, and look, to be frank, and I told many of you, we actually, when we finally understood what was happening, I realized that for many of our Canadian customers in certain provinces, your budgets were just wrong. You were not able to correctly account for this recoverable tax. And that's when I realized we needed to immediately address this. I pulled Casey, my co-founder, off the communications update. As hard as it was, we were getting close to getting that out. But again, at the end of the day, this was very important that we get this right for you all. And so we have implemented what we believe is a very elegant solution to help you manage this. So just quick little background. So for everyone in the US, you essentially have what are called non-recoverable purchase side taxes. They are treated as job cost. You're not getting that money back. If you end up paying tax on anything, that money is gone. That is a true job cost. That is included in your unit cost. It is included in your cost when you're building out your jobs. And so that all worked. That really is why we haven't drawn attention and had a dedicated, tax on the bid request, the vendor orders, the bills, expenses. However, in Canada and in Australia and the UK and other places around the world, which at this point about 10% of our customer base is outside of the United States, there are additional taxes that some of their governments decide to assess, and essentially they, for whatever reason, decide that they're going to add this value-added tax where they're going to take money at every single transaction in the supply chain, but will ultimately give it back to you, credit it back. You will get reimbursed for those taxes, which we call recoverable taxes. You will get them back later. So they are not true job cost. And we had to address this because in the budget, when you're looking at your actual cost, your profitability, having a tax can be a very meaningful amount of money. And we needed to address that. And so, for countries where you have VAT, GST, HST, any time that there is an additional tax that should not be included, we now give you a way to enter that information when you are logging your bills and expenses, or when we're syncing those bills and expenses from QuickBooks. Before, it was being just ignored. And again, it led to inaccuracies, and we had to devote the time and energy to solve this problem. I know it was something that we were not super excited to have to go do, but I saw it as a huge opportunity to really help all of the contractors in the rest of the world to be able to manage this problem, because this is a huge headache for contractors to have to deal with. And so I felt that it was important that we put this update out. You can now show both on your invoices and your proposals, on your bills, every document, you can now show those taxes. And again, it might just, if you're in the US, it might just be tax or sales tax. You can now name it, which is neat too. It could be your PST or GST, or maybe it's just HST. This is something that if you're affected by this, I know that you have felt the pain of dealing with this, and we're excited to be one of the only construction management softwares out there to have solved this problem. I also need to give a shout out and a lot of credit to Intuit and to QuickBooks Online, one of their developers who we were very fortunate to be able to work with, just so happened to be in Canada, in a province where he very much understood the situation, and he gave us tremendous insight and showed us how we needed to be able to implement and enable this. So, I'm very, very excited that we were able to get that out there. And I hope for all of our Canadian friends out there, please do spread the word, share the love, tell other contractors. Like we want to be able to now support everyone coast to coast, regardless what, country you're in. Please do, share this with others. Help us, continue to bring on additional businesses who could benefit from this update. The last thing I want to say about this is that this has also been another stepping stone for us. We want to continue implementing and streamlining, the ability for you to log all of your expenses. And we knew that when we even started kind of building out a way to kind of do it, but we knew that, if you're at Home Depot, or if you're looking at a receipt, that receipt is going to have your cost and then your tax and then the total. And we knew that we needed a way for you to be able to just plug in those numbers, and then our system will automatically redistribute the non-recoverable taxes to all the line items on that bill, on that expense, or it will just display those recoverable ones and it won't include them as a job cost. So this is a stepping stone for us to continue adding additional features that are going to further streamline, logging and recording and managing all of your job costs, your expenses, whether they're coming from credit cards, from bills that you're paying, whatever it may be. We've got big plans to keep improving that whole system. All right, moving on to communications. This has been one of those things that we were just so excited to be able to deliver. We worked really, really hard. I appreciate that, Rebecca. I see a couple people saying they love the tax updates. Thank you. And again, please do share this with others. Help us keep growing internationally. We want JobTread to be a global solution for the entire world. And we believe that we can handle, these tax situations and some of the other small nuances that would be different. But anyways, back to communications. Very excited about this. So, as all of you knew, we had the ability for you to send, comments and have the back and forth communications in JobTread. But, as we continue to add features to JobTread, and you can comment on various things, we quickly saw the challenge of trying to find that information that you're looking for. You weren't able to search for, a communication that had happened, or, again, it was just very spread out. Like when you got an email notification about a new comment and you clicked on it, it took you to the job feed, or it took you, to the document or wherever. And like you couldn't find the message very easily. And obviously that was a huge problem. We saw the challenge and we committed to addressing it. And so one of the big updates here was just to centralize all of those communications into one message center. So you now have your messages box. You can see everything that is unread, everything that you've sent. You can now have direct messages as well. If you just want to have a conversation with one employee, you can do that right there. The ability to name your messages or to give them a subject has been tremendously helpful already. I've heard tons of feedback on that. Like, it's sending out a message saying, there was a comment like, that's not very helpful. Like, hey, we're talking about, this column that we need removed, or we're talking about this selection or this, fixture, or whatever it may be. You can now name those conversations, which is super helpful. And I think one of the biggest benefits too is the search. You can now search across all of your messages that have been sent in the system. So this is just super exciting that we got this out. So I actually want to switch over here at this point and show you a quick little demo of what this looks like. So you all probably saw that you now have this messages up here in your main navigation. This is going to be across all of your jobs, across all the accounts, your customers, your vendors. Like, you can now have messages, where you're having a conversation with a lead before you even create the job. Or if you need to remind your sub to get their COI in or to show up on time or whatever you need to do, like, you can now do that, directly to them. You can do it outside of the context of a job, which was really the only way that you could have conversations beforehand. So huge update in that regard. Being able to come in here, when you first load up this messages tab, you're going to see everything, all of the messages, they're grouped up by, by message, by day, so you can just quickly scan through and see everything, or you can start to drill into just those particular messages. I see here, I've got one, where it had the unread message notification there. I can directly see if this person, this is a conversation right here on this Home Depot receipt, and there's a question about, I guess, what was it for? Was this for electrical or plumbing? Like, we can right here have that conversation, right in this messages channel. We're really excited about it. One other thing I wanted to point out is that you can directly click straight to any of the things that, are kind of in that hierarchy, right? So if I wanted to go directly to that receipt, to see what that was, I can click straight to it, or if I go back and, and I click on that, the document right here, or I can go straight to the job, or I could go right to, the customer account. Like, you have the ability to go into these resources just with one click. So it's really helpful to see that. I can also come in and, let's say, I want to remember to come back to this. I can mark it as unread, so that will remind me to follow up. If I want to just see my unread messages, I can come right here and I can see all of those. If I want to see all the messages that I've sent, I've got that, or we can just kind of go back and see all of them. But the other neat thing, again, is this direct message. This is where you can basically send a one-on-one message to someone on your team that, whatever it may be. You don't have to do it in the context of a job or where everyone else is going to see it. These can be those private direct messages. When you click the new message button up here, again, it's going to default to a direct message if you're outside of the context of a customer or vendor job. But this gives you that ability to come in here and to, again, just quick who you want to send it to, or which roles you want to send it to. You give it a subject, a message. You can still attach photos, files. You can copy photos from other places. So you've got all of those messaging tools right here, in the message center. Now, I do want to hop over to a job. And so in this job, this is where I can go to the messages, and I'm only going to see the messages for this specific job. So it's really nice that it filters it down. It centralizes all the communication for this one job. And again, I have the ability to search to figure out, I'm looking for something in particular. Maybe, I want to know about, the hardwood. I can easily find where we had those conversations and what we were talking about. Instead of having to browse through everything, searching over everything, like, you can just very quickly find those communications. Or maybe I just wanted to see everything that Anna, was involved in, and every discussion that I had with Anna or with my customer. You can search by name. You're searching the subject. It's searching the content. Like, it's really powerful search right here in the messages. So we hope that, you all have already had a lot of, benefit coming from just getting this all organized. I'd certainly love to hear any feedback in the chat. Any thoughts, if you're liking it, if there's things, ideas on how we can improve it. I do know. So when we first rolled it out, we had just kept or we had removed the ability to directly comment or create a message from the dashboard, from the feed. We got a ton of feedback that people, they couldn't figure out how to send a message. We did add this new message button here where, again, it'll pop up and you can see all the recipients, the roles. You've got your customers, your vendors, that have access to the job, as well as all the internal users. You can do that, from this plus message button. And it's neat because you can be on any tab, anywhere, looking at anything, and you can just, quickly pop up a message to send it from there. But feedback was that, you all really liked having the ability right here from the dashboard to send a message. You also really liked how it defaulted to the internal roles. So we added it back very quickly based on your feedback. We think that, again, however you get those messages out, we want to make it as easy for you to get them out and to get them out to the right people. So again, you've got all of that right there. Again, just note the default, we left it to internal roles here, but when you come over to create a new message, this is where, if you still want it to go to everyone, you can do that. You could just do the internal, you got the roles, the people involved in the job. If you don't see somebody that you want to message, related to this job, then it likely means that they haven't been given access to the job. So I encourage you to go and do that first. Now, again, we heard a lot of people, you want to be able to send messages to your customers directly from the customer account, so that you don't have to create a job to be able to send out those messages and have that conversation. Maybe you want to pre-qualify, maybe you want to set up that initial call before you go through and build out their job. So you can now do that directly on the, directly here on the dashboard or on the customer account. Again, you just like before, you can do it right here. Now, if you don't add the recipient, so if I just post this message just like before, it's only going to be an internal message. Now, if I want to include the customer, then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to add, the customers to this message, and that's going to give them access to receive that and to be able to interact and go back and forth. Again, if they don't yet have access to JobTread, they've never had their user kind of set up, it automatically does it when you send them that first message, or when you add them to a job or assign them something, send them a document, like same as before. It'll just seamlessly create that form and they'll land right there on that portal, where if they're not part of any jobs, they'll basically just kind of have that messaging feature where they can go back and forth with you. The other neat thing about the messages feature here on the customer is that this is going to pull all of the messages, not just from that customer account, but also from all of the jobs that they have been on. So if you do a lot of repeat work for the same customers and you need one place to see the communications across multiple jobs, you can do that right here. So really powerful stuff. Same thing under the vendors. You can now come into a vendor and you can send a message directly, back and forth with them right here. So I think that's most of the messages. I mean, there are some new permissions. We've pulled all of the different comment created permissions out of kind of all these other areas where we had it. We've brought them all into one. The new direct message one, we have defaulted that on, for everyone. So, I do think that you want to make sure that everyone is going to see all of those unread notifications, get the notifications in app. Even if you don't want, an email or push notification for everything, that's fine. But I do recommend that you really take a little bit of time to go through and confirm that these permissions are set up how you want them, so that everyone's getting notified in the appropriate manner. Again, though, this in-app, if you have this turned off, then you're not going to see the unread notification that you received a new message. You want to make sure that this is on, even if you don't want email and push notifications. So take a little bit of time to learn about that. You also have the ability to set the default for all of your roles over here. So be sure you take some time to just look through those permissions. All right, I think I've covered everything on messages here. So unless there's any burning questions, we'll move on. All right. Couple technical things for our advanced technical users out there. We did add a few more updates to Zapier. So we now have this new generic event trigger. So we still recommend in Zapier, if there is if there was a first class trigger, a pre-built trigger already created, you're going to want to use that. So job created, job updated, those are still going to be the better triggers to use because we have provided more context about that specific thing that is initiating the zap. But there are a lot of things, a lot of what we call events that are firing, constantly happening. And so just to really help you all be able to very quickly build out zaps and update your zaps as we roll out new features, you can now use this generic event trigger to kick off any possible, any zap based on any possible event or even combination of events that are occurring in JobTread. So, unlike with the pre-built triggers where it's one thing, it's created, it's updated, it's deleted, you could have multiple events where you could say, I want, this to fire every time a job is created or updated, every time, maybe a job is created or a customer is created, whatever it may be, you can now create whatever combinations you want. Now, one caveat is that, again, because you could have one or multiple types of records, you're likely just going to have to take the ID of that record and then go and look up additional information. So again, there's a little bit of a drawback because we don't know what information you're requesting. We can only share so much through that trigger, but it should be really powerful for those who are doing some of the more advanced implementations of Zapier. And one other thing I want to highlight, this new code action. So we have given you the ability to run JobTread, to basically query either JobTread or other applications. You can write your own JavaScript code and run it in this code action. The cool thing about this, this means that you could do all sorts of stuff in one action, and this is going to save you a tremendous amount of essentially what Zapier calls task, because every single thing, every action counts as one task against your limit. Well, if you have a developer or if you hire a developer off, Fiverr or online or something like that, or you know how to do this, this is going to really help you build out some even more advanced integrations, and you're going to be able to keep your zaps down. Again, being able to call out to the JobTread API multiple times, push things back, integrate with other APIs and other systems out there. You can format the data, return the data exactly how you want into an object. There is tremendous power here for developers and for our more technical users who have really started embracing this. Beyond our wildest dreams, it's so awesome to see some of the automations and the workflows and the integrations that you all are creating. So we wanted to give you a few more tools to help you build those out. So if you're not using Zapier today, don't be scared. Check it out. There's an awesome chat, a Zapier chat in the JobTread Pros Facebook group. You got a lot of people out there that are very helpful. They're giving people, feedback and advice and looking at their, zaps and helping them. So please do, consider this because you can really add some powerful, workflows and automations when you incorporate Zapier here. All right. This was a secret feature that nobody brought up. We were very surprised. We rolled this out Monday, it was a Tuesday when we rolled out the notifications or the messages update, and we were curious to see if anybody was going to find it or not. But we have now given you the ability to reorder your navigation, the main navigation, which controls the left side of the screen if you're on a computer, or it controls the bottom of the mobile app. We knew that adding a new tab, could affect how people are used to using JobTread, and you might want to move it somewhere else. You might want to reorder this. When you're on your mobile device, you're on, a phone with limited number of limited screen space, you can now control the icons that are going to show up at the bottom of the device. So this is going to let you, whatever you want to focus on, you now get to update this and customize this. Super excited about this update. You do it directly from the JobTread settings page. This will customize it for everybody in your organization. So again, really think through what is the most important, order that you want. On a computer, you got everything, you can see everything there. But I think just even more important, and where this really comes into play, is these quick jumps right here, these little icons, depending on the width of your screen, you're only going to see, 4 or 5 of them. So we let you reorder everything between the main home. That one's going to stay on the top, and the settings is going to stay on the bottom, but you can reorder everything right there within the settings. So, if I come over here and I just come find this customized navigation order, I open that up, and this lets me drag and drop, whatever order. I mean, if daily logs are super important to me, I can bring that up. If I want to move something down, just kind of whatever you want to see, what is the most important. I definitely recommend keeping that messages in there, because again, as new messages come in, you want to see that you got unread messages. It's just quick and easy to jump to, but you get to decide the order that you want. Or you can come in and you can just click reset, and that'll leave it, kind of back to the defaults. But really nice little tool that we added. I hope that makes a lot of people happy, because as we continue to add more features, we want to give you the ability to customize JobTread and bring front and center those most popular things that you're using every single day on your mobile device. And we'll also continue to kind of give you these feature visibility, where if you want to turn something on or off, you can do that as well, and then it just drops out of the out of the menu altogether. So who likes that? I'm very surprised nobody found that. We didn't want to draw too much attention to it, because I've got some sneak peeks that I want to share with you coming up here that's gonna Justin, I see to-dos. Maybe you do. All right, let's keep going. All right. Want to highlight our most recent integration as well. So Hound Dog, they entirely built this integration themselves. They've done a great job with it. We had a really awesome webinar earlier this week. If you didn't catch that, which I think was one of our most attended webinars, aside from the ones that we put on, it is directly in the help desk, as well as on our website and on our YouTube channel. But Hound Dog allows you to automate collecting and verifying your certificate of insurances for all of your subcontractors. This is one of the biggest pain points that I had when I ran my construction company. We ended up getting audited by our insurance provider because we didn't, keep track of getting all the renewals every year. We collected their COIs when they started, and some of them gave them to us. We just weren't managing it. We weren't on the ball with it. This is why in JobTread, I recommend everybody go into your vendors and you make sure you create, those COIs to track their expiration date. Do you have it? But this takes it to a whole nother level. This automates the ability to make sure that you're collecting them, and it'll automatically send out email notifications to your subs. It makes it easy for them to just directly upload their COI, or they just put in their agent's information. It sends a request to them. It is such a powerful tool. It's such a powerful integration. I wish that we would have had this. And so, I'm very passionate about this integration. I think Rusty and his team have done a tremendous job, building a solution for a much needed problem here. So please do check them out in the marketplace. You can directly schedule a demo with their team. They'll walk you through it. It's fully integrated into JobTread, and you get to pick which subs you want to track or not track. And they have a very, very affordable pricing model. They have also given JobTread users a very generous 20% discount. It's essentially, it's $1 per sub that you're tracking per month. And so, but it will keep up with all of those renewals. And furthermore, you get to say, hey, here's the coverage that we need, based on the sub, based on the work they're doing. It uses AI to read and make sure that coverage matches what you need, or it'll tell them, hey, you're missing here. So again, check them out. They're in the marketplace. If you sign up through there, you do get that special JobTread pricing. Really, really awesome integration. We've heard a lot of great things from the customers who have started using it. Couple other integrations that I want to highlight. So we have the Plaid integration already built out. It is actually, we've had it kind of running in the background, collecting data just, for our own kind of testing. But this is going to be a really powerful tool to essentially pull in all of your bank, your credit card transactions, and again, it goes to that ultimate solution of further streamlining the process of being able to track and log and manage all of the expenses, all of the bills, all of your job costing data. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to be able to do that. And so I'm excited that in the coming months, we're going to finally be able to, kind of build out the rest of that solution. And it will involve, and I mean, it's optional for you, but if you want to log into Plaid and basically connect, to your checking or to your credit cards, it'll just seamlessly pull in all those transactions for you so that, you'll very quickly be able to do the job costing, assign them to the jobs, or ignore them if they're just, an overhead, internal cost of some sort. But, we're really excited about this integration. So stay tuned for that coming in the coming months. Also wanted to update everybody on the Home Depot integration. So, as you can imagine, things don't always move as fast as we would like with large, partners like Home Depot, but we are continuing to make progress. Our developers are working directly with their developers to get kind of the machinery under the hood set up and working. We're very excited though to hopefully later this year to be able to bring you that global catalog. We had asked them to essentially, instead of having millions and millions of SKUs, we wanted to know what is the most popular, the most commonly bought products for contractors and builders. And so they have given us the ability to kind of filter down to that list, which we think was really important. We didn't want to overwhelm you all or our databases with millions of products that you may not even be using. So we are continuing to make progress on this, and we're very excited, but it does take a little bit longer when we're working with third parties to get this implemented. So again, stay tuned for that. Hopefully, fingers crossed later this year, but we'll keep you updated. And lastly, though, I want to say, with Matthew Couch joining our development team to put an additional focus and effort on integrations, we want to hear your input. On the feature request board, please do go and look at the integrations. You can filter by integrations tag there. Find the integrations that you like, that you're excited about. Upvote them or add new ones. Like, we want to hear the things that you would like to see integrated with JobTread. A lot of times though, we don't even have to build it. We can reach out to them, or you can also reach out to them, because we do have an open API. Our goal is to create this platform that JobTread is, so that we can help you build your ecosystem of applications and help bring everything together and help get them connected. So, we want to hear the things that you're most interested in. And I hope that, you will go and take a little bit of time to upvote those and help us prioritize our integrations. All right, here, one other awesome, surprising update before we get to scheduling and to-dos. So we have now rebuilt and are providing an in-app camera within JobTread. This is something that we wanted to give you the ability to have a lot more power. We have heard from all of you. You want to be able to snap multiple photos, and right now, when we use your native iPhone or Android camera, we can only take one picture at a time. So we essentially have implemented our own camera directly into JobTread, where you're going to be able to snap as many photos as you want. You can name them, add descriptions, mark them up, add them to folders, give them tags, things like that. But one of the really neat things here is that this is our first time dabbling in a little bit of an offline mode, if you will, because if your phone dies, if you lose internet connection, if you just quit the app for whatever reason, when you relaunch it, they will still be there right where you left them. And once they get uploaded, then they will get removed, from being stored locally on your device. But it's a really, really powerful feature that I'm excited that our guys, we're able to pretty quickly kind of get built and integrated. We are still doing some final testing. Do look for this, hopefully, coming at some point next week. But I think it's going to be a really awesome feature. You will also see directly in the looks like we don't have it shared here, but like directly in JobTread, when you open it up, right in the top menu there, you're going to see a camera icon that you can just click to snap a photo or multiple photos immediately, and then we help you kind of decide where you want to put it. So again, if you got a job, or you got a receipt, or you got something that you just want to quickly grab that photo, then you can categorize it. After we've put a lot of effort into really trying to streamline that process to help you get all those photos and videos directly into JobTread. So be on the lookout for that. Now, without further ado, the other great debate that we have had both internally and with many of you out in the community, to-dos, tasks, schedule. We have heard it, and we understand the desire, the very strong desire. This is now the #1 feature request on our feature request board. It looks like at the time of screenshot, we had a 411, votes for this. So we are going to deliver it to you. We now have a new to-dos feature where you can manage all of those tasks, those kind of simple, quick things outside of a job schedule. We heard you. You don't want to-dos on the schedule. You want to keep your schedules very, very high level, or you want to keep it just focused on the scheduled task. And right now you're having to, basically put your punch list and put your to-dos. You're having to put everything on the schedule there. And we understand the desire to separate that. So we're going to be renaming task to schedule in the main navigation. And we're going to be adding a new tab called to-dos. And so as you can see here, this is, maybe you want that front and center on the app when you open it up. We've also added an updated list view for both to-dos and for scheduling that we believe is going to really streamline creating tasks, creating these to-dos, updating them all in line. Really excited about that. To dig into to-dos a little bit more, so you're going to now be able to create to-dos on a job, as well as on a customer account, on a vendor account, or just for your team, for internal to-do tracking. You'll have all of these options to do that. You can prioritize them based on date. You can give them task types. They can have checklists. You can assign them to internal or external users. You can have comments, share, files, photos, so you have a lot of that same functionality, from task. And technically they are task under the hood, but they've got a special flag that is, it is a to-do. And so, you now will have the ability to separate those and have a much more streamlined interface to build out your to-do list, for you or for your team. And look, if you don't want to use to-dos, if you want to keep using task and scheduling just like it works today, you will be able to do that. You can just disable the to-dos tab altogether. That feature will disappear. Nobody has to know about it. Or look, maybe you don't want the elaborate schedule and the Gantt charts and the months and the weeks and the days. You could turn that off and just use the to-do list. You can do, whichever one you want, or you can use both of them. It's going to be up to you. And so just a few things we wanted to point out about the schedule as well. So, we have this new easier, to use list view. As you can see, it's really clean. I'm going to show it to you live here in just a second. But this, again, it's going to let you to kind of create and edit inline all of these different fields and all this information. You can also expand the task and see the descriptions, the checklist, all the files, or you can just kind of keep it collapsed here. Couple mass actions. So we're now adding mass actions to both to-dos and to the schedule, to that list view, which didn't exist before. Heard a lot of feedback and desire for that. And we're just kind of simplifying, some of the filters and bringing that in. So I want to show it to you here in action. So this is on what we call a kind of a tunnel. It's a development version of the code. That if anyone is interested and wants to go play around with this, we are happy to give you access and to get your feedback, over the next week or so before we roll this out for everyone. But as you can see here, we've got the to-dos list right here on the main navigation. This is that kind of much simpler view. We can come in here, we can directly edit. If I wanted to edit the name right here, you can do that. Or if you wanted to pop up and see all the details, you can click over to the side of it. So that's really nice. If it's related to an account, or a job, you've got, your due dates, you can just click in and edit any one of these things right here in the list. If you wanted to tag it or add something or remove the tag, you can do that. Just like before, you can assign these tasks. I think this might actually be a new little picker here, so we could actually see, we got multiple people that we can assign this to. Super nice little feature there. But this is that new to-dos. Now you are able to, see the entire team's to do. So if you're an admin, if you're an owner, if you're a manager, you want to see what someone else has assigned to them, you can pull up their to-dos, to help you kind of prioritize and manage all of that. Or, again, it looks like you can actually view multiple people's to-dos at once, which is pretty cool. So if you got, people working on a team, you can see that. Looks like you can also see all your vendors, your customers. So if you needed to kind of see what they have outstanding, you can do that from this one place across all of, everything, the jobs, the customers, vendors. You can also filter by task type if you want. When we go to look at the schedule here. So this is that new schedule view that I was talking about. And we've updated instead of having the checkbox here that, kind of, sort of look like might be one of the mass actions, we've updated it where you can now see the see the kind of that it's been checked and completed. You've got some other options that are really neat. This is across all jobs, but if I go over to, let's just say I'm going to go over to this job here, where again, I can come in, here are the to-dos just for this one job, and again, I can come in and I can select multiple of these things. Maybe I needed to, add, I'm going to add the customer, I'm going to add a vendor, maybe I'm going to add Dan. We can essentially do mass actions on all of the tasks, the to-dos, right here in that list view. We can also expand them. So if I want to see all the checklists and I want to come check off individual, checklist items, I want to view the photos, we've got the expand and collapse. You've also got the ability to show what's been completed. So I hadn't completed anything. Maybe I'll go complete a couple of these here, save that. And then I can see all of my completed to-dos. Same thing with that schedule, with that list view. We've got, a lot more, functionality that we have built into the schedule, this list view, so that again, you've got it organized by group here. I can click in and open up all the details. I can see everything just like before. If I needed to make a quick edit to the name, I can just type in there and I can adjust it. I can see we've got some checklists that need to be completed. I can click on, I can, update the dates right here for many of these, start, the end, we've got the duration, task. So everything right here in one spot. Again, if I want to expand it and see all the checklist items or any photos, files that are attached, we can do that. So again, really powerful stuff. We are kind of working on sort of streamlining this filters and this top navigation. So if you wanted to jump to today, jump to the list, you've got all of those options up here. If you want to pull up that availability view, a lot of this though, this is definitely still in development. We still have some more work to do. We haven't quite put in all the permissions that we're going to do for this. So I would love to hear your feedback. People who are interested in testing this out, you can reach out to support. You can reach out to your customer success person. We can give you access to use this new feature before we roll it out to everyone. We heard feedback how when we rolled out communication, things changed. Some people wanted a little bit more of a heads up. Well, here's your opportunity to get in there, to try it out. If you want to update your training materials, your documentation, whatever it may be, we would love to have some people come in and try out these new features. I think you're really going to like them. So, reach out to us, give us that feedback. And, once we're ready, hopefully it won't be next week because Nathaniel, who is the developer leading this project, is going on vacation. So, what we're doing is we're trying to collect as much feedback as we can over the next week. And then the following week, we will work to implement any final changes and then ultimately roll this out for everyone. So hopefully you're excited. I know a lot of people have requested this, have wanted us to add this feature. You've wanted to be able to separate your to-dos from the schedule. So we're giving you that ability. For those of you who don't think you needed this, or, you just want to keep using it as it is today, you can still do that. We just think that we finally came up with a good solution to allow you to manage your to-dos directly in JobTread. All right. So what's on the development roadmap? So obviously we got to get, the camera, got to get the to-dos feature and those other updates out. Again, that'll take us a little bit, but we do plan to get those out in the next couple of weeks. Coming up after that, we're going to have shared budget views. We've talked about this. We know that cost plus builders really want a way to share, their budget with their customer, with their homeowners, with that in person. And so we are going to finally get to this project. We're going to create a read-only version of the budget where you can decide, just like you do now, you can customize the columns, you can filter it, decide what information you want to share with them. I believe we'll also likely need to add one more filter to kind of show only approved things, but we're gonna enable you to then share that with your external users, with your customer, so that they can keep track of where you're at with the budget. This has been very heavily requested. We understand it's very important for our cost plus builders, and are going to be rolling that out. Coming up next after these other features. We've also got specifications coming up right after that as well. We've heard the feedback. We understand, the need to be able to provide, the people on the job site a way to quickly view all the specifications. Here is, all the details. We're going to essentially have a way where you'll be able to, share, some of the details and the line items from your budget with that specifications tab, add in a whole bunch more information if you need, but be looking for that. Again, probably take us a couple months to get that. We're excited though, that's finally here, at the top of the list. A couple other things, text formatting, we've heard you loud and clear. You want to be able to do bold and italics and underline and strike through and bullet points and numbering and, hyperlinks, things like that. So we have finally found what we believe is going to be a happy medium between, giving you like, full blown ability to kind of do whatever with like a Word doc type format or WYSIWYG. We're going to essentially give you the ability to continue using what technically is called Markdown. But we have found a way that we can actually make it really easy where you can still kind of click, like you could highlight something and make it bold or, italicize it or underline it. We're going to be looking to roll that out coming up here soon. And this will work again on all text fields, not just, the documents where we've heard the desire the most, messages, tasks, any description fields, things like that. Like this will be across the board. So you'll be able to do more formatting and really kind of draw attention to those important, things that you want to highlight. We're also looking at getting that customer request document type out. I've shared with a lot of people where we've heard, a lot of design builders or people where you work with, a designer or the customer, to essentially flush out everything they want, all the specifications, all the details ahead of time, or maybe you want to quickly churn out a ballpark estimate, that you want to send out there, get the customer to sign off and approve it, but you don't want it to affect the budget because you want to then go and build out, your full-blown proposal or contract, have all those details. And right now, if you try to use a customer order for that, and then you send another document, it's gonna double it up. And so, just like with bid request, how we can allow subs to submit their bid request and it doesn't affect, the financial aspects of the budget. You can view it right there in the budget. It's tied to the line items, but we're going to do the same thing on the customer side to allow you to send out those pre-contract documents to collect that information. Maybe you don't want any line items at all and you can just have them sign off. Maybe it's a design agreement or however you want to do it, but like you're going to be able to have that pre-construction customer request document, as sort of from a document type that's, you can name it whatever you want. But we think that's kind of the 6th document type that we need to get in there. So we're excited to do that. I've talked about the streamlining, entering expenses and bills directly into JobTread. So, after we get some of these other things out, we're gonna again turn to that, try to pull all that together with the Plaid integration. Very, very excited. And then we've got our ongoing effort to get the on-screen takeoff. It's definitely one of the larger initiatives that we have taken on. We have been studying everything out there. We have met with a lot of you. You've given us great feedback. We're excited to keep making progress on that. So that will be a continual effort. One of our developers is solely dedicated to that, and we will keep you updated as we've got more to show there. I'm hopeful we can get that out. All of this out. By the end of the year. Again, I want to underpromise and overdeliver. These are kind of the core focuses that we're going to have. Some of them will come much sooner than others, but this is where our attention, is going to be too. So if you got feedback, you got ideas, suggestions, want to get involved, please do come help us, build these out. All right. So as always, I just want to remind everybody, directly in the help desk, you can follow along with the What's New tab where we spend, do our best to put videos out, to explain it, to update the help desk, the content, about everything that we're putting out there. And I want to actually invite Anna, if you're there, Anna, I want to let you walk through and kind of talk about the training and everything that you're doing to help people.
Yes, thank you so much, Eric. I hope to see you all on future trainings. I know I have seen plenty of you on them, but I enjoy offering live trainings all the time. And so you'll see them listed on here. Almost every single business day, I'm offering a topic-based training. So many of them are the 101 trainings, but I cycle through more of the advanced trainings each week as well. And so keep your eye on the trainings tab in the help desk, and you can see all my live upcoming trainings. I also offer weekly think tank discussions. Usually they're Thursdays at 4 p.m. Central Time. And so this is where we bring together JobTread users to talk about a topic. It's unstructured conversation to really dive dive into each of those topics. And so you'll see here, we have a lot of fun on those calls. And oftentimes we get each other laughing, and it's really just a great opportunity to hear what other JobTread users are doing. Sometimes people share their screens, they share examples with one another, they share templates. It's a great opportunity to just really connect. I'll mention that next week, we do not have a think tank because the boot camp will be happening, but the following week, we already have a think tank discussion. It's in the help desk in the trainings tab, and you can register for that. All right. Then we also have our boot camp. Could you go back to the previous slide, Eric, for me? Two before that. Then we also have, there we go. The boot camp next week, that is quarterly almost. We do about 5 boot camps a year. And so definitely take advantage of that. If you're not a beginner, it still might be a good fit for you. We go through all JobTread basics, and we really talk through workflows here too. So it's just a great time to just spend 2 full days focused on your business. And then monthly, which I just skipped, I do crash courses, and those are 4-hour crash courses for different roles in your company. So for your project managers, your estimators, your office administrators, and we spend 4 hours on Zoom going through how to use all the JobTread tools for those roles. And it's kind of a learn and try it out kind of setup. So I teach you something, and then I say, okay, now it's work time. Practice what I taught you, and I'll be here to answer questions. So it's a great interactive experience. And then, of course, annually, we have that JobTread Connect user conference. And I know Eric mentioned a little bit about this earlier, but we do have some intermediate and advanced tracks that will be taking place at the Connect conference this year. So if you feel like you're beyond all the other training, the Connect conference is for you, and you should definitely join it. All right, the next one that we'll talk about is our certification program. So we have had the certification program for a few months, but now it's officially all held within the app. And so if you've completed the certifications before, you should be able to go into your help desk, click on that certifications tab, and you will see all the certifications that you have completed. It also tracks your progress. So if you are halfway through a certification and you get pulled away from your computer, don't worry. You can always come back to it and continue the certification. So it's a great opportunity to really get those badges, feel more confident knowing that you understand JobTread. And also those badges you can put on your email signatures, your LinkedIn, and you'll also see them beneath your profile picture in your JobTread profile. So we want to get you all certified and trained, and each certification takes about 2 to 3 hours to complete. All right, we did discuss the think tanks. I'm going to stress once again, just visit that trainings tab in your help desk, and you will see more information about the think tanks, and you'll be able to register there.
Awesome. Appreciate it, Anna. Kind of just in conclusion here, I want to thank everybody for continuing to give us reviews online. I think on our Google, we're almost like 250 5-star reviews. This is just really very overwhelming, for us to see in a great way. And we're so excited that, we're able to continue delivering for you, for your team, for your business. Our customer success team works very, very hard along with the rest of our team to provide you the best possible service that we can. And, we really appreciate you continuing to help us spread the word, to help others find out about JobTread. So if you hadn't given us a review, we'd love for you to do that. Again, it's something that really helps us to continue growing the business. We're collecting them on Google, Capterra, G2, Software Advice, GitApp, Facebook, QuickBooks. I mean, wherever you are compelled to share it, we would really, really appreciate it. That helps us to continue building JobTread and growing the company. So that's all I got for today. I want to thank everybody for not only attending and really just helping us, keep building JobTread together. We view this as a collaborative effort. Your attendance here, your feedback, you helping us test new features, come up with new ideas to implement. Like this really makes all the difference in the world for us to make sure that we're able to deliver exactly what you're looking for and what your other, colleagues in the market as a whole, we want to build this together for you, with you, by you. Let's make JobTread the absolute best product that we possibly can. And so I want to thank you all for everything that you've done to help us create JobTread and get it as far as we have so far. It really does mean the world to us.